crazy. That's why I only know what he knows. Hey, I only grow as he goes. Yeah, I gotta give my lessons from the journey, baby.
What up, y'all? It's Saturday, my favorite day of the week, and this is Sean L. Brown, and you're watching Lessons from the Journey Live. How was your week? You don't got to answer. Oh, no, you could answer. Answer in the comments. But before you answer in whatever comments that you're watching, I want you to head on over to the Lessons from the Journey YouTube channel. Why, says me? Because you need to subscribe so that you can get all the tips, tricks, tools, and nuggets that you need so that we can live well together. It doesn't matter if you show up here and learn some lessons that you don't know how to apply, and we're your community that helps you to apply them. Let me introduce to you my co-host, Gregory. Gregory or Craig? What are we calling you today?
I don't even know today.
Okay. Well, his name is Craig C. Carlisle, and I'm
Andre.
the only one that can call him Gregory. So
I'm not Andre, and I ain't Susan.
you're not on, and your name is definitely not Susan.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm so glad. Identity check. And every 7th episode of every series, we get to play with my bestie. I love her. She's brilliant. She's smart. She's dope. She can rap. She can write. She can coach. She can do everything. Ms. Wanda Smith. But to y'all, she is known as the voice of the movement. Welcome, Ms. Wanda.
Good morning. What's good? What's good, family? I'm excited for today's conversation.
I'm excited for today's conversation. Ms. Wanda, have you been watching our little series?
I have been watching the series, and I've got pages of notes. Okay, pages of notes.
I know you. You did not come in this room to play. So y'all, by the time you get done watching this, you're going to be so filled up with wisdom. You're not going to be able to go out there and make dumb choices anymore.
I'm gonna have some chicken though. I'm full. I'm starving.
You're starving?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you know what's so good about after this show today?
Yeah.
We get to go eat waffles.
Good, because I was hungry. I'm gonna be full of the word, but I need to fill in my stomach.
7th episode rap party right after this. So Ms. Wanda, you're gonna have to make your way down here so we can do this live, and then we can eat after.
I know.
Right?
I'm gonna have to do that.
Just move.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
And music. Fuck.
Okay.
You guys have too much fun. Yes, I have to come down. I have to
Yes.
come. I have to be in this place. Yes.
Come play with us. So y'all, we've had a lot of fun getting going this morning, but on a serious note, we are in the last phases of a 6-part series called The Relationship Experience. This 7th episode is so that we can unpack what we learned. We don't do this show just because we want to entertain you. That is not the goal. The goal is for everybody who is involved, from the tech team to the people hosting to the guests to you watching, the viewer, to learn something so that we can do what? Live well together. The mission of Shawneeville, the mission of the mission of Shawneeville, the mission of this show is that we really learn to master the game of life. Master the game of life, and relationships are vital. This whole thing started because Craig and I do music too. Shameless plug, Rescue Mission Music Project, the Shawnee Project. Craig, what's yours called?
Lost and Found.
We're creating, did you hear that? Lost and Found. We are creating a music project to go right alongside these shows because you need a soundtrack for growth, development, and change. I'm so excited to be able to deliver these products to you to help you to support the change that we all need everybody to have so we can live well together. So anyway, let me tell you about the show. Reason that we started this whole concept was because of a song called Tell Me. It is an old song by a group called the SOS Band. Okay. That song in face value sounds like a love song. A couple finding their way back to each other. That's how I, in my little immature mind, interpreted it. But in my grown self mind, I really heard what was happening. And what I heard was a lot of gaslighting
Mm.
and thirst. That's what I heard. Gaslighting on the male's perspective and thirst, not only from the female, but from my perspective. Because when I heard it, my thirst trap engaged. And I said, "Oh my gosh, am I still dumb? Am I still can I still be gaslit relationally?" It was so scary. So now, tech team, can you cue up the video so that they can take a look at our journey through the relationship experience? I don't have to follow a fool. If my spouse is not living up to God's standard of the way he is supposed to do life, I am not to just throw my hands up and follow him. It is it's a harsh reality to know that you were thirsty. And then for me, what I've been processing since we started it was, why was I so thirsty?
Number one would be, am I loved? Am I loved? And number two, how in the hell do I love? And I think those two questions really do go hand in hand.
And I'm so on point with red flags. I mean, even funny.
I'm just proud
I
of
learned.
you. I'm proud of you. You didn't let survival mode keep you stuck. You recognized it. That's what I'm talking about.
It's tough because once you've been hurt, and once you find out that you don't want to be hurt again, either that same way or again, period, it becomes reactionary, going to survival mode.
When I listened to it, I realized I had allowed men to spin the block on me, asking me stupid questions like, "Tell me if you still care about." What do you mean?
I have two sisters who one day asked me how they could tell if a man has done the work. And after over a decade of working with men, here's what I have found out. If you want to know whether the guy in front of you is a man or just a boy in an adult body, all you need to do is ask yourself this simple question.
Wow. That's a good show.
It
really is a good show. So, Miss Wanda, we've been inside the show. So I'm going to do something that I really hadn't planned on doing until right now. I'm going to let you drive. So I'm going to turn the mic over to you and you let us know, what did you learn? And we'll move from there.
So I remember when I heard the first episode, you guys did it live. I remember the day I was walking on the beach. I was in Long Beach preparing for one of my 5Ks. And I remember watching the show. And I remember I called you later on that day. And I was like, oh my gosh, this show, your conversation was so deep. And kind of let that marinate. And I kind of walked away from it. And as I started preparing again the other day, I just said, okay, I'm just going to listen to this song. Like, I was running errands that day. So I'm just going to listen to this song all day. Just on repeat in my car. So I listened to the song. And what came up for me was so different than what you and Craig discussed, especially in the first episode. Mm-hmm. I was like, it's your lens and your experience, right? That this song impacts you in this way. So if you'll indulge me, I wrote down some things.
Yes.
So I wrote, this song activates so many feelings. As I look at this song, I look at it as the ending of a relationship. I'm transported back to the end of my marriage when we were not on not so good terms. I feel the feelings on deep love and hurt simultaneously. When I made the decision to walk away from my marriage, I was very much in love with my husband, but sometimes things just don't work out. And that's real for a lot of people. Sometimes the chasm is so wide, the divide is so deep that there is no way to close the gap. This song brings tears to my eyes when the couple asks, if we really care for each other, tell me, why are we apart? The couple has gotten to the edge of the chasm, one on each side, and can't figure out how to close the gap and continue on the path of relationship. And so that for me, when I was listening to that and driving, that just this sadness came because it took me back to that period where my marriage was unraveling. And so for me, it wasn't about being gaslit. You know, I was like, okay, that's Sean's lens, but my
Mhm.
lens is the fact that I could see myself and my husband standing, asking us this. This is a conversation between two people whose relationship is totally coming apart. And it's like, how did we get here? That was my interpretation of this song. Like, that's, to me, that's what it was. It was, we've gotten to this place where things are just not working. We're not communicating. We're not intimate. We're not, you know, getting along. We, you know, sleeping in separate rooms, like the whole thing. But how did we get here? And how did we get here knowing that we still have deep love for each other? Because I was ripped to shreds when I had to walk away from my marriage, but I knew that was what I had to do.
Mhm.
And so even in the aftermath of that, after getting my own place and moving and all the things, I was still so deeply in love with this person, but
Mhm.
the chasm just kept getting farther and farther. And so that song, that's what it was like, I'm here, you're there. We still love each other. How did we get here? Do you love me enough to help fill the gap with healing and love and all of the things that we need to close this gap that has come into our relationship? That's what I got.
You're so dope. I'm over here taking notes like I'm at school. No, but I'm serious. You are so dope that you were able to, let me go back and study the original, and then let me take it. I love how God took you right to the realities of where this song played out in your own at the ending of your marriage. That's why I love that we're about to do Lessons from the Journey meets Full Circle, because when we come together, we're able to bring these lessons from the journey to a full circle conclusion so that the viewer, the listener, is able to move forward. Craig, let me ask you, what did you learn?
I learned that it's a lot of stuff the men we do anyways. It's a game, right? You know, and we don't really think about the long-term repercussions of it. We think about getting our way, so to speak, right? Because it's what men are taught. It's a hunter, gatherer. We're supposed to be big game hunter. We're trying to tackle that big fish. We're trying to capture the flag, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And we don't ever think about the long-term gain. And either be gain or game, right? We think about just right now. And so at this point in my life, I'm a lot more cognizant of what I'm doing, but it's still the same game because we have to pursue. We have to do something that gets a woman's attention that we're interested in.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'll have a conversation with somebody and there's a door of easy layup coming. Go, ooh, did we respond or do we not respond? And because we're not the only ones that's gaming.
No, you're not.
You know, so it can't
not.
always be set at, it's just a dude's fault. No, it's a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. You can't play a game by yourself.
No.
You
It takes
can't
at
play a game
least two to tango.
At least two. Or two
Or
pieces
two-
in the two what is it? Two
two
pieces in the
dudes
side.
on the piece. Two dudes on the side, chick.
I didn't say chick, it was side piece. You threw in the chick.
Well, the piece is still a chicken.
Just two pieces. Shh.
Sorry. Okay.
Next.
Okay, can I
Next.
tell y'all what I learned?
Please.
I learned that I do not know how to do relationships romantically. At the end of the day, when we got to episode 6, Relationship by God's Design, my motives for relationship totally invalid. That's the word I hear. Just my motives. Just, I want somebody to love me. I want somebody to care about me. I want somebody to. That's not why God made it. And that's why they don't work. And that's why the song to me was gaslighting. And that's why God wanted me to hear it that way. He said, this is not my design. That man should not be calling a woman to go, why didn't it work? Oh, I almost said sorry. Thank you, Jim. Mister, it didn't work because you're outside of my design for you, Adam. Genesis chapter 1. How did he create it? What did he create Adam to do? And when we don't do life God's way, I don't care how minor or minimal or how little bit tech team. Just kidding. See, this is a live show. It's a live.
Someone's calling in.
Somebody's calling in. We don't take callers.
Not
Just
yet.
kidding. Not yet.
It's coming.
Come
man.
on, Gregory.
It's coming,
You better
man.
call that thing as though it be not as if it was,
That's
because
what
it
I'm
is.
saying.
But no, seriously, when we don't do life by God's design, we end up in all of these situationships and hurt feelings, tortured. Then we bring in the next level of relationship, which is children and family.
Mhm.
Because, when you're having sex, the natural cause of that is children. That's an outcome that is very possible. So for me, as I listened to it for each week, it was like, dang, we don't even know why we're doing relationship, because if that man was doing relationship by God's design, that song wouldn't exist.
Well, the truth, though, too, is even if we're not having children, sex doesn't bury child, also buries soul ties.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's going to tie our souls together and our thoughts and
That's
minds
right.
and spirits together in a way it's natural if it's in a husband and wife situation.
Right. That's what it was created.
Right. But when you're not married and you wind up in a situation like shit like this, we got a whole lot of other problems to deal with.
That's right. That it's like, the core four and Root System Reboot. I talk about the core four. Root System Reboot is a method in the Shawneeville Global Live Well community, right? But that core four is a big deal.
Mhm.
It's spiritually, who am I? Emotionally, how emotionally intelligent am I? Mentally, how mentally stable am I? What influences my thoughts about myself, life, and others? And fourth, physically, do I understand who I am and how I even work physically? See, those first four keys are you. The fifth key, relationally, you bring that into your relationships and you bring it into your resources, which at the end of the day defines your purpose. So this song, I couldn't understand, like, God, why did you have me start with relationships? Why didn't we start somewhere else? He said, because this is really the low-hanging weeds, is relationships. Because people are getting into these relationships to soothe their childhood wounds and their confusion, and so that's why they're having the conversation. Well, tell me that you still care about me, and because his inner child is broken, her inner child is broken. So, Wanda, which episode was most impactful?
Oh gosh, I think it was episode 3 with the women. That one was the most impactful. For a couple of different reasons. There was just some things that came up that I resonated with. We talked about this yesterday in pre-production, things like red flags. But I want to go back for a minute because I still feel like I'm listening to your conversation about this song and I'm like, okay, am I living in this naive reality of, you guys are still talking about this song like it's a gaslighting, it's gaming and all that, and I'm like, okay, is it me? Like, am I the one that like has a skewed lens? I'm like, I don't know. I'm sitting over here questioning myself right now, and I have to sit with this. Like, I'm like, why don't I see it like they see it? And I know everyone's situation is different, but it just gives me a whole nother perspective on myself and all of those things. So anyway, back
Wanda,
to
I love you. Don't leave that, because that's too much meat to just walk. Are you crazy right now? Like, that's Emmy winning conversation that's about to take place. Can I just say what I hear? And this is what I had to wrestle with as we walk through the series. God created it to be designed one way. And one way only. That's the only way it works. When I listened to Dre's episode, when I listened to the women's episode, when I listened to it and I looked at all the ways in which I tried to do relationship, but when I looked at relationship through the lens of Genesis 2 and I see the model of it, And then I look at Genesis 3, where the serpent comes in, and then the consequences are taken. I said that conversation is a result of the curse. Because we're not doing it like Genesis 2, that conversation occurs because of Genesis 3. Craig, can you touch on this for me, please?
Well, the trick though is we're using a spiritual lens to really filter out
Yes,
something that the world is doing.
that's right.
So
Come-
if you're